Hi YouTube, Chef Ricky here at Chef Tips UK, and today we're going to be doing a vanilla panna cotta, one of the easiest desserts to make by far. All we've got is cream, milk, sugar and a vanilla pod, and it's that easy, and some gelatine. Don't forget the gelatine, the most important part really. So yeah, it's really easy to make. You can make it a couple of days in advance and it's really nice, and you can serve it with some like fresh raspberries, some fresh strawberries. You can make a compote out of raspberries, strawberries, mixed fruit, anything. It goes really well with fruity flavours. So let's get cracking. The first thing we're going to do is I've got here 4 gelatine leaves. You want enough gelatine to set a pint, because that's all we're going to do. I'm not really going to give you exact measurements on gelatine because it all depends on what sort of gelatine leaves you use, or if you use powdered gelatine. I've got gelatine leaves here, so all I'm going to do is rinse cold water over them. So in a bowl, some cold water, and just place your fingers in there like that. Just get it down. I could probably use a bigger bowl really. And that's all we're going to do with them. And we're just going to leave them to soak in the water until we need them. Next thing, we're going to start the mixture. So I'm going to pour into this jug 300 millilitres of double cream. So really important thing when you're measuring, get down eye level, get down so you can see clearly when it's 300. I've just realised I was actually using a 300 millilitre pot. So yeah, funnily enough, there's exactly 300 millilitres in there. Who would have thought? And then what we're going to do with this is we're going to turn this around to the point mark, and we're just going to finish it off with whole milk. Perfect. Now a pint's 568 millilitres, so I normally do about half and half, so half cream to half milk when doing a panna cotta, but for the sake of just doing a pint, measuring out however many half a pint is, I just thought the easier to do 300 millilitres of cream and then top up the rest with milk. Right, so once we've done that, we're just going to pour the cream and milk mixture into a saucepan. We're going to add 60 grams of caster sugar, and then we've got a vanilla pod here. Vanilla pods are quite expensive. You can use vanilla essence or a really nice vanilla bean paste. I think when you're bringing cream up to the boil though, I think vanilla pods work really well. So what we're going to do is I normally start halfway into the pod and go out to the end. Same again on this end and go out to the end, and then to split the pod. And then all we're going to do is, using the back of a knife, we're just going to scrape the pods out, just like that. And then I tend to just sort of paste it onto my board. You don't want to lose any of that because they are quite expensive. And then after that, we're just going to drop that into the milk. The skin of the vanilla pod that's got loads of vanilla flavour. Like, you get that smell, and it just smells like, oh, it just smells like a really good custard or something. So we're just going to drop that in and let that infuse. And then the seeds, we're just going to drop into the pan. Try and get as much of them in there as possible. Being careful when you're playing around with a knife like that, just so you don't cut your hands. And then that is our mixture. So that's literally how easy it is to make the mixture. Really simple. I mean, anyone could do that. Then we're just going to get the cream and milk mixture, our Panna Cotta mixture, onto the stove. We want it like medium high. We're going to get a whisk and we're just going to whisk in the vanilla pods and seeds. And then that is just going to be left to come up to the boil. We don't want to boil it completely, we kind of just want to bring it up enough, just start so the edges start boiling. And that is when you want to take it off, because that generally means it's hot enough. You know, you kind of want to be taking it to about 70 to 80 degrees, somewhere between that. You don't want to boil it completely, you just want to like to a kind of simmering sort of temperature. What I'm going to do, because I put the gelatin in the smallest bowl I own, I'm just going to fold that up a bit and make sure it's all covered in the water. And by the time this has come up to, as you can, I mean, that is already really soft. So we're just going to leave that in there just until we need it. And yeah, we're just going to give that a little stir. I'm going to wait for that to come up to the boil. It should take about 5 minutes, don't take long at all. That's another thing about Panna Cotta. It really doesn't take long to make these. The only thing is just the chill time, because you want to leave them to cool down before you put them in the fridge. And then once they're in the fridge, an hour or 2 hours to set. Easy. And that's how easy it is to make. That's what I love about this dish. Really classic Italian dish. So easy, so simple, and as you can tell, you don't need much to make it. Right, so if you get a look in here, I don't know how well you can see this, the edges have just started to come up as it's coming up to the boil. So we're just going to give that another whisk. It smells so vanilla-y, and I mean, I don't know if you can see all them seeds in there. It just looks absolutely beautiful. So all we're going to do is leave that. We're going to get our gelatine, which is now really nice and soft. Just going to grab it in our hands and sort of just squeeze out the extra moisture. Drop it in there. And then we're just going to whisk that in, and that'll just pretty much melt instantly as soon as it hits the hot mixture. Now it's really important that the mixture isn't boiling when you add gelatin to something. I know especially with leaf gelatin it can sort of taint how much it sets, and it might not set as well. So all I generally do is just sort of lift the whisk up a bit and just make sure that I can't see any gelatin in there. And then all we're going to do is get another jug here, and we're just going to pour that into a jug. I'm going to leave, for now, I'm going to leave the vanilla pods in there, because they'll carry on infusing that really nice vanilla flavour into that mixture. And what we want to do is just let this cool down a bit before we pour them into the dariole moulds. Right, so I'll let this cool down for a bit. And something I wanted to show you is, if you look here, I don't know if you can get a good look here, all the vanilla seeds will sink to the bottom. So that's why before you pour in the mixture into the dariole moulds, it's really good to give it a good stir and just try and get all the vanilla seeds into the mixture. So the idea of letting it cool down is so we're leaving them vanilla pods just to infuse into the cream and give it a bit more of a vanilla-y flavour. Now what you can actually do with these vanilla pods then is you don't have to chuck them away. what you can do is dry them out just on a tray in the oven at a low temperature, just till they're dry, and you can add them, say caster sugar, and give it a little stir up, and that'll infuse the caster sugar with vanilla, and that's a really nice thing to do, that is. So this cream, just gonna give it a stir around for about 30 seconds, just so all them vanilla pod seeds are all in the mixture. If you look there now, there's none sort of sink to the bottom, and then we're just going to pour it into these Daryl moulds. Now, if you want, you can sort of just do this into something like a martini glass or something. I personally prefer the more traditional way, into some Daryl moulds. I don't think we'll get a full one out. Oh, yeah, was right. So yeah, just evenly distribute it. As you see here, these Daryl moulds I've got, that pint recipe has done 6. So, you know, there's plenty to go around. And all we're going to do then is let them cool, put them in the fridge, and we'll come back in a couple of hours and we'll see what they're looking at. We'll turn them out, we'll give you some hints on how to turn them out, and yeah, should be good. Right, so Panna Cotta's been chilling now. Overnight I've left it. And it's looking lovely, it's looking set. I'm going to use a blowtorch to get this out. If you've not got a blowtorch, you can dip it in some hot water and get it out that way. So all we're going to do, just turn this over, get the blowtorch on. That should be enough. Give it a little wiggle. Just gonna roll. Boom. There we go. Because I've done it with a blowtorch, it does melt a little bit. But we're just gonna place that gently onto a plate. Pour the water down, I'll get this on here, and look at that. Look how nice that's wobbling. A few fresh raspberries to finish. Give that a little clean up. And there you have it. Panna Cotta. As easy as that. Proper easy that. I mean, you look at how that was wobbling. That's exactly what you want. Just like a jelly. So, that's my video on a Panna Cotta. If you like that, give it a like. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And until next time, keep on chefing.